$29.95 at your local dollar store.
A Gen Z pay.
But it will not work if you try to write cursive. Won't do it. Won't work. All right. So you can spend the money if you want, but you're going to be printing the rest of your life.
Yeah, no, it doesn't do cursive. Hell, it probably don't work either. It's a Gen Z pen.
It's just there to look at.
It wants somebody to come do
Boy,
the work
that's a
for
nice
them.
pen, but it's just for looking at.
Yeah, you got to hand it off. So somebody
Actually,
does work.
it comes with a little shovel. You can lean it in like that on your desk.
Right? I'm telling you.
Yeah, you got to get it to where it talks too. You know.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to work for a living.
Me neither. Take the cap off. Watch what happens.
I sleep till noon.
Yeah. Play video games till 4 a.m. You got to be at work at 9.
My Xbox is broke. All right. So what?
My name's Phil.
Hi, Phil. I'm Brett.
Hey.
It's been a while.
It has been a while.
But I'm back.
Haven't said our names in a while.
We're back on the show. I'm back on the show.
I like doing the show. It's fun.
Yeah, I know you
enjoy it.
But you have many, many, many hosts.
Yeah. Well, that's the point.
We got Sharon.
Yep.
And
Kenny.
Kenny did one.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Jaleesa's been on a couple.
Jaleesa's been there.
And that's about it.
And you.
Me, you, and Sharon are pretty much the regulars.
Yeah, well, you have to take a break. You're on every show.
I know, right?
Can't have that.
I know. See my new thumbnails? Aren't they cool?
Goddamn camera hog.
All right. My new thumbnails.
I've seen your new thumbnails, yeah. I got one coming up. One's pending.
It's coming out with this show.
Oh, God help us all.
Yeah, I know.
I don't need to be on a thumbnail.
Oh, I think it's fun.
I'm not thumbnail material.
You never know.
No, you're right.
You could be. You're thumbnail
I
material.
didn't think I was
someone.
podcast material, but yet here I sit.
Yeah, I know, right? See the first show, you'll be like, nope, they're not going to make it.
Like, yeah, how you doing? Welcome to the Mountain City Show.
Right? All right.
Like a deer in the headlight.
My sister made me get that bell.
I love that thing.
Oh, man.
Yeah, tell them what they won, Phil.
They won a pen.
A brand new car. Oh no, we got a Generation Z pen.
got a Gen Z
$29.95 at your Dollar General.
It only prints and doesn't work.
Yeah,
half the time.
you can't write in cursive.
Oh shoot, man!
Yeah, take it to print. It's a print pen.
It's a print pen.
Print pen only.
Yep, print pen.
Yep.
Place
print pen. Can't write cursive on that.
No, you can't.
And yeah.
So did you see the?
You can't change the Constitution either.
No.
I don't know.
They sure are trying though.
Yeah, they are.
Freaking morons.
So go ahead. What did you say?
So did you see the Tennessee shooting?
I did. I did see that.
I don't even know how you explain this. So it's transgender person.
Which means nothing.
Well, I mean, born female, turned male, right? That's right, right? Born a female, but as a dude.
Is a male, yeah.
Okay.
I think that's, yeah.
That's right?
Yeah.
Because I saw the TikTok of it.
Yeah.
Did you see what she released beforehand?
The manifesto I haven't seen. No.
When she basically put on there that she's going to die today.
Oh, she made a text message of that, too. I did see that.
And then it had videos of her, like, flexing her arms. And
had manifesto and maps of the school. And but
it's playing.
The only thing that's really sticking in my craw is how the network.
Wait.
In my craw.
What is in your craw?
Yeah. It's a gun problem. It's not a gun problem.
It's not a gun problem. It's a person problem.
It's a mental health problem.
Yeah, it's a people problem.
Yes.
Now, so here's the thing. Do you got an assault knife?
Okay. Yeah, we've had assault knives, I reckon.
I mean, if you use a gun, it's automatically an assault weapon.
My Rambo knife back when I was 12 could have killed somebody quite quick,
Yeah,
I think. Yeah.
I still like those knives.
I mean, he killed a wild boar with the damn thing.
Oh, he killed a whole bunch of stuff with it.
Well, they drew first blood.
Yeah, but the point is, though, is that they always tag someone who does that with a weapon, and they go, it was an assault weapon. It's an assault weapon.
There's no such thing.
Right? The weapon is like what you're using it for. It's a hunting weapon. It's a freaking duck gun. It's a turkey gun.
It's a
all that kind of stuff.
How about an intruder gun? If a man come through my front door.
That's shotgun.
Anyway,
yeah.
I deem what size I need to shoot the son of a bitch with. He kicked in my door. It's my decision how hard he goes down. Shotgun with rock salt my ass. Just put it in center mass.
Yeah, I can.
Why can't that be my decision? He's in my house.
That's true. He is. No, it is.
If I want a Civil War cannon sitting in the dining room pointed at the back door and pull the string and blow his ass up with it, that ought to be my right to do so.
Yeah.
He screwed up.
Yeah, I mean, I keep a Glock by the bed.
Well, I know that. I
do.
know that.
I mean,
but it's not a gun. Back in, like I say, back when I was in school, we could take our rifles with us. We could take them with us, and we could leave and go hunting afterward.
Oh, I agree.
But
I agree with you.
You can't do that nowadays because it, like you said, it's a people problem. I guess we had more goddamn sense back then than what people do nowadays.
Yeah, so here's the thing, right? So say you did take away the guns, and actually you're not taking them away from law-abiding citizens. You're taking them away from them. You're taking them. That's who you're taking them away from, is law-abiding citizens. You're not taking them away from criminals or mentally ill or any of that. So say they were gone, and someone wanted to do something similar. What do you think they would use? They just go in with a knife? They go in with a makeshift bomb, because you can make a bomb pretty damn quick out of the chemicals in your kitchen.
Well, here's the thing, and this is from my experience just being behind the wire. If somebody wants to get you, they'll get you by any means necessary, right, including a squirt bottle full of shit.
Instead of it being a gun, it might drive a freaking truck right through the school.
Well, the only thing you're going to do by banning guns or making more laws on these guns is you're going to enrich the black market, and people's going to have them anyway.
Oh, yeah, there's too many guns in the country.
We tried that with alcohol. It didn't work.
Yeah, prohibition.
It didn't work. So,
well, here's a good example. Chicago.
Well, yeah,
Illinois.
And they they're the strictest in the country.
Yeah,
and it's
you can't
a war
have
zone.
one. And
it's a war zone.
And they're coming across the border every day.
Well, and another, the other thing is back when we could do with our guns, all these mental health facilities were still open.
Yes, that's a big thing.
Then the state decides they're not going to do that no more, and they start pulling funding and closing them down.
Do you know who did that?
So then what filled up, Phil? What filled up then after that?
I had to look it up. Do you know who was responsible for that?
Who was responsible for that?
Guess what president? And it shocked me.
I'd probably say Reagan.
Yep. Ronald Reagan was responsible for shutting down the mental health hospitals.
Yeah, because that's back when they started shutting down the ones around here, which I think is it's a big mistake that needs to be rectified.
Yes.
It's not taken serious enough, and bring gun education back into the schools.
Yeah.
Teach these kids what guns are about. Bring the hunter safety course back into these schools.
Here's the thing, though. What you just said right there would not have changed, like bringing education back into the schools. I don't think that would have changed that. I don't know what we call that person.
What if she? Well, here's the thing too. Back in the day too, she was already seeing somebody.
Oh, you mean
for some mental health
health professional?
Well, maybe back then she would have been committed because they'd have had the building and the hospital to put her in.
The facilities.
Yeah, to put her in.
Nowadays, and we both know this, is who handles all mental health people now? Police.
Yes.
And your prisons.
In the prisons.
That's who it is.
The prison's full.
And there are so many people in prison that should be in a mental health hospital.
Or need treatment.
Yeah, they should be in a mental health hospital.
Exactly.
They should not be in a prison.
They're a handful.
They're a handful, and
excuse me, Phil.
And they get manipulated and taken advantage of.
Well, they're a handful when they we shouldn't be. I'm not medically qualified to be treating some mental health person.
No.
And we were dealing with them 8 hours a day, and when they don't take their meds and things like that, I mean, they need somebody to talk to, and they need regular therapy, and people just don't have that nowadays.
They don't.
The money needs to be invested back in to mental health, and and gun education.
Like if they wanted to spend their money somewhere, at least in my opinion, would be for mental health hospitals and treatment centers and healthcare for people.
Yes.
Those are my big things.
And
everything else we spend money for
Yes.
All of it.
Yes.
Get rid of all of it.
Yeah.
Get rid of it all.
And here's another thing, and we need, like you and I we're of the same opinion. Like you can't take the guns. You got to keep our guns. You know.
No, you're not taking them. There's too many.
You know, you got a goddamn armed guard at your bank. We guard our money with the guns. Why can't we guard our kids with guns?
Right. And I think the only reason there wasn't a school safety officer at that facility is because it was a private.
Well, it's a money thing.
It was a private school, and it was
that too. But it's a money thing too.
It is. I mean, public schools, they have them, but, you know, I give credit to them 2 cops. Oh, actually, all the cops that arrived there. That whole incident was over within 3 minutes.
But if somebody had been there, it was 14 minutes total, the whole episode.
I mean, it was phenomenal.
So, but what if somebody had been there with a gun once she come, what do I call her?
I don't know what you call it.
Anyway, I don't know. I don't want to piss nobody off, but anyway, you know, when she shot out the front door of the glass, that's how, because the door was locked. Mm-hmm. Somebody with a gun, that'd have been over right quick. It'd have been done.
Oh, yeah, they'd been right on that hallway.
It'd have been 1 casualty instead of 6. Three young children didn't even have a chance to live.
It's horrible. It's an absolute tragedy. And so there's no way.
I think everybody should be able to carry.
Like, I want to say the first one that I remember.
Everybody should be able to carry.
They should. Was Columbine.
Yeah, that was
and it went from there.
You know, right there, that was when everybody should have realized we've got a bit of a problem here. And
we do.
And they don't. It keeps happening.
It does.
And nobody wants to do anything about it. Everybody,
they want to blame.
It's lip service.
All they do is blame.
It's lip service. Just like this mess with the cops that's going on right now. It's all lip service, and nothing ever changes.
No, it's all
the only damn way you're going to fix it's a little bit of action.
Oh,
you know
what
I mean?
Mm-hmm. I agree with that. But I do think that they should at some point, like.
What do you think?
You know,
I saw.
I saw this thing the other day. I think it was on TikTok. Which, you know, don't get me started with them banning TikTok.
Oh yeah, well that's another show in itself.
Yeah, it is because of that legislation they're coming out with, that restrictive act. Which
with the
dear
VPNs.
God, is that gonna? It gives them so much power over the citizens of this country. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But anyway,
I understand. We'll talk about that in another show.
I just don't think the politicians quite. I mean, I understand. I can try to understand the argument that some people make about guns, but I also think that's people who've never been around them.
Yes.
And they think that everyone who has a gun is a criminal, and that's just not the case. 95% of the people who own guns are law-abiding citizens.
Yes, they are.
You know, it's that 1% or, you know, whatever, that cause all the problems. And you're not going to get rid of that because you're never going to get rid of the guns. There's 300 million guns in the country. You're never getting rid of them.
You're not going to get rid of them.
And who's going to get them? The criminal element.
And that's it.
That's right. That's where they're going to go.
And, you know, I try to look at it from their point of view, too, to where, I mean, how would a gun look to you if you didn't have a clue how
scared
to use
to death.
it?
I'd be scared to death of it. I probably would.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you didn't know how to. But we've been taught since we were kids.
But we grew up different.
To handle guns. Well, why are they growing up different now? Why can't that gun and the respect and the education be instilled in these kids today about these guns like it was for you and I?
Oh, you are completely right. However,
I don't want to go grab a gun and shoot up a goddamn place just because they pissed me off because they didn't put no mayonnaise on my sandwich.
Yeah, I think. Well, at least I think
you follow me.
Yeah, this person here who did that in Nashville they wanted to die. It was death by cop. That's
I don't know if we really know the complete motive. Why pick that school? Why the kids? Why those teachers?
Why send a text saying I'm not going to be alive?
Yeah, well they knew. Well, she knew when she blew the front door out that was going to be the end.
You know, you're done.
Yeah, but why the school? Why that particular? I think a former student as well, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so I don't know why, but you know, this mentality where you automatically got to go to a gun to solve your problems is. That's not how we were taught.
No, it's a people problem and a mental health problem.
If we got caught just horse playing with a gun, we got our asses whooped.
Well, that's
just
the problem
with
too
the
nowadays. That's
the
problem too nowadays, how children are raised.
Well, that's got to change. It's not a gun problem. Take away the guns, they're still going to be fucking brats. And just like you said, they're going to get a knife or they're going to get something else to come after you with.
It'll be something else.
we got to fix up here with these kids today. They need help. They need help. And if they need the help, they need to be able to get it.
You know what, though? I would
They
have
need
to
to be
say
able to
that
get it.
because the people we're talking about are
And
our
let parents be
our
parents.
children. That means it's our responsibility.
What is our
Do
responsibility?
you know what I mean? Like our generation, the kids that we see like now, how old was that person that did that?
I tried to raise mine the right way, Phil.
You know what I mean,
I
though?
don't think any of mine's going to go run and shoot up shit. I can't raise everybody's kid.
No, but
I think it's time to let parents be parents again nowadays.
Yes.
Get this liberal element out of parenting and crack these kids if they need cracked and instill the common sense that it's lost.
Yep.
It's been gone for so long.
Oh, I
it's
agree.
just not common anymore. And, teach these kids about guns and, this mentality of going right to a gun to solve your problems is ridiculous. This is why we got these as well.
how to
Not
process.
that I am advocating violence, but I'd rather have my ass whooped with fists than get shot by a gun and be dead.
Oh yeah.
It's ridiculous.
So I just think it's just not one answer. It's like it's a combination of things, like the violence you see on the streets with the
Right.
gangs, with,
Right.
with the drugs,
Right.
with everything going on.
Right.
Think about this. Now, if we lived in a neighborhood, say we lived down in Baltimore,
Right.
Baltimore's like a war zone.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd have a gun on me all the time.
But the state wants to take the guns
You know,
out of the
and-
good people's hands
And
down there.
And here's the problem with that is that, in the state we live in, that if you do happen to use a gun for self-defense and you are 1,000% justified in everything you did, most likely you still going to jail.
Oh, you're going to go to jail.
You're going
that
to
night.
jail.
Oh, yeah, you're going to go to jail.
And there you are guilty
Absolutely.
until proven innocent.
Oh, you're
going to
go to jail.
So
Whether the firearms legal or whatever the dude did, you're going that night.
yeah, now, I
Absolutely.
can tell you a great story, right? So here's my mother. This
Right.
was years ago. So my mom was in the house, and she was in there with my two little nieces, and they were young, and I mean young, like probably 4 and 7, 8, somewhere around there. And someone came to the back door, which was a sliding glass door.
I think I remember this happening.
And
Yeah.
it was on a deck,
Yeah.
and they broke through the door.
I do
right?
remember this happening.
And my stepdad worked for the state police. So she calls him. Well, he sends God and country to the house.
Sure.
Of course. Right? But in the meantime, this dude's huge, man. He breaks through the glass. The sliding glass door breaks through it to get to him.
Right.
My mom first took the kids and went down the hall and then made it to the car, right? And as she made it to the car, he just made it to the car and started beating on the window. And my mom started the car up, threw it in reverse, and started getting away when all the police.
All the while, but they ain't there yet.
But here's the thing, too. So they would have said, because she had an exit, and this is no shit, because she had an exit to that house, if
A
she
point
would
of
have shot
escape.
him, she would have been found guilty.
Yeah, but it's not like that in the state of Maryland anymore.
No, but that's how it was.
It was back then.
You
If
know
you
what I
had a
mean?
route of escape,
If you had a
to
route
take
of
it.
escape, you had to take it.
Even if your family's upstairs asleep.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
We gotta fix that. There we go. But I do think that, I mean, the laws have been passed and how things are in some states and in the
It's
country.
not helping.
It's making things
It's
worse.
not
Like
hel-
I'm tired of
I'm-
getting my
I'm
freedom
telling-
stripped.
That's why everybody should have the right to carry.
I'm
you
tired
would
of
end
it.
this nonsense if everybody could carry.
Yeah, I'm tired of getting my freedom stripped. How's that? They just
car-
keep taking and taking
Yes.
and taking and
Yeah.
taking and
from
taking.
the law abider,
Yes.
not the criminal.
Yeah, from the law-abiding citizens, the taxpayers.
You get arrested now, you're out that night.
So I pay taxes. Where over 40% of the country do not pay any tax.
Right.
I do pay tax. I mean, I stop taking my freedoms. Just stop
Absolutely.
it. Stop it.
Yeah. I'm with you. I don't know. I think everybody should be able to carry. Everybody.
I don't have an issue with that. I know in
Everybody.
Florida you can.
Unless
Unless you're a felon, which I have
And a
issues
lot
with
of
that
this-
too. And here's why I have issues with that, because
shit.
I've been around quite a few people who were incarcerated for felonies.
Imagine that.
And I do think that when they come out of prison, they have a very hard time at getting a job
Because of that felony.
because it says felony. And
Yes.
in my mind, they shouldn't even be a box. Like if that person, whether a man or woman, did their time for whatever crime they had,
it should be off there.
they should not have to say
I
it.
agree.
Like it should be out.
I agree.
right?
I agree
Like,
with that.
you should not have to even say any of that.
I agree with all that.
Right? That should not be any consideration. The only time I think that would be a legitimate thing, in my mind, is if you did something to a child.
Oh, yeah.
Then I have a huge issue.
Yeah, then you.
But all the other ones,
but all these drug-related incidents and these felonies.
Well, I mean, think about it. In the state of Maryland, murder's 25 years.
Yeah.
Now listen to me.
I am.
So say you're 18 years old and you get convicted because you were a stupid kid at 18 years old,
right,
wrapped up in a gang, and you wound up shooting somebody and killing them.
Right.
Well, how were you when you were 18?
I wasn't.
I was
very
an
smart.
idiot.
I thought I knew it all.
I knew nothing. I had no idea. Right? So at 18 years old and you're locking this guy up for 25 years, at 25 years later, that dude, that fella or that woman is a completely different person than who they were than when they were 18 years old.
Oh, my.
When they committed that crime.
I agree.
So in my mind,
I know where you're going.
When these guys come out of jail or prison for...
I'm staying with you.
Right? They should, instead of them, having that stigma of being a felon trying to get a job, right? It should not... No, like when you come out, now you got a clean slate all over again.
I would think so.
Unless something happens, then, we still have your background. But you have a clean slate.
But it shouldn't show up on a regular background check for a job, because as soon as the employer sees felony, that's it.
They're done. And
they're disqualified.
Yeah, and I totally disagree with that.
And they want these guys to get out and be productive citizens and, tax-paying citizens. And they end up turning back to crime because they can't get a job because of that felony.
Correct.
I know what you're saying.
They can't get a job. And here's the thing. So a lot of your prison systems, too, they'll take these guys, they'll teach them how to weld, they'll teach them how to do carpentry, they'll teach them how to do, make furniture. I mean, you name it. Some of these guys come out with some good skills. Some of them go to college. Some of them
I know. I've seen it.
So when they come back out, there is nothing for them because they got to check that felony box.
Yeah.
Or they run the background.
What contractor's going to hire them?
Nobody's hiring them.
No.
So, I mean, they're set up to fail.
Right off the bat.
When they come out.
As soon as their feet hit the street.
Yep.
They're doomed from day one.
They're doomed.
You're right.
Unless you get a good employer who doesn't mind hiring someone with a background.
Some will.
And some do. But the
not
majority
many.
do not.
So these guys are screwed from the get-go. I mean, you're right. I agree with that.
Yeah, well,
I do agree with that.
Yeah, we went on a tangent a little bit off that. But
that's all right. It still falls with guns.
It does.
You ain't going to get a gun with a felony. So
no, you're not.
You're not allowed to have a firearm with a felony.
No. If you want, let a comment so we can see what you think.
Yes. Let us know.
That'll be interesting.
Let us know.
We'll take the bad ones, too, because I don't mind them. They're fun.
Yeah, I'll take those.
All right. Hey, Townies, my name's Philip, and you're watching The Mountain City Show. Hey, if you could, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. It doesn't cost you anything. It's free. And don't forget to click the bell.
The bell?
Yeah.
What's the bell?
Bell notifies them every time we have a new video. So make sure you click the bell.
It's free. Costs you nothing. Thanks, everybody.